Yeah,
All
and this
right,
is
so
like I was saying earlier about the four teams. This is
two of
one
the
of the matches
best.
I've been looking forward to
All right,
because
so let's just get right into
um
it. So it looks like Falco's playing on that trip. She, I guess, has changed that kind of assassin. I don't know. Did she always play assassins?
yes, she's been primarily the assassin player
Okay.
for Vortex
Yeah,
or Vanguard. I apologize.
I've been on the receiving end of her trip, and it's a real bad time.
It looks like they're actually going to get the first push, and
Yeah.
while we have this little bit of downtime, let's go ahead and look into the team comps that they have. So Vanguard has the Beckett, Trip, Sven, Zandora, and HK. When it comes to Apex's team, they have Paco, Sven, Zandora, Gnosis, and Charnock. This is actually a really tanky team for Apex.
Yeah, they're really gonna thrive a little bit later, except for the Gnosis, who kind of falls off.
This is an easy win for them,
Yeah, he
and
falls
they're going
off
to.
pretty hard as far as tankiness goes later, especially when people start getting their damage online. Although most of the damage is Beckett and HK, Beckett's damage just skyrockets, and oh man, she's in trouble. That is a 5-man push on C. They are going to take C. That's a 30 power lead. That's going to be a 50 power lead. Schmoogle's
Yeah,
going
there's
to
two of them
try and do
already down on
something,
Vanguard's
but
end. They've
uh,
just respawned, so
looks like focus
that's
goes out
another
on
pick.
Jaden, but it does not connect fully.
This will be. They're actually going to look for more kills instead of go for the creature.
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like we have got a 5-man group up there chasing them off back to E, and they might actually be able to storm on there because they picked off the Sven. They can easily they took out their sustain. Paco's half. Bloomer's healing him up. Looks like it's Sornai on that Paco. And then
They
all right,
want
that's the
to
trip focus. That's going to be a dead Paco. That's one down.
actually misses though.
They
Okay,
are
there it goes.
they are
I'm actually.
even. They're almost even in power. Although it looks like Falco's getting is on the wrong end of that Gnosis spear. All right, so it looks like it's going to be mostly a retreat. There's going to be some poking around the middle section between D and E, and yeah, that's just going to be a retreat. So if you
Yeah, so
look,
they try to make the shield difference between Apex because if you saw at the beginning of that, they were able to get 3 easy kills. They were trying to look for more, but
oh
unfortunately they fell off short. But Vanguard continued to push on them to try and continue to get the push onto them and make it even shield, if not actually make it smaller. And exactly how it looks right now, they only have a 10 power difference from Apex. So whatever kind of damage Apex is gonna have to force themselves onto this moon to be able to get any damage. But
yeah,
it
it
looks like
looks
they
like
got it.
yeah, Apex gets the push. They're going to have
They're shoving
uh,
into this fight right now. It looks like
and Trip's
Trip
low. Trip
running as
can't stay in, so that's going to be a 3 or 4v5, and they're stacking up. They're probably not even going to go for the wound. They're going to try and get the positional advantage at D.
misses that. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I've had that
Oh,
pain before.
oh,
Looks like
Dragonrock
they're gonna pick on.
is
Has to
he
force
is
that
way too
focus from
far
Zendora.
off. Yeah, it looks like Zandora might go down here. Oh, that was a good jump attack. Yeah, Zandora's
Misses the cripple.
gone.
Yeah, Zandora's goes down.
Yeah.
Gets a
Oh,
little more shield.
they're on that wound. Yeah,
That
that
entire time that
they were going for that. That could be a dead Paco. Oh, that Sven focus though. That was a good one. And oh man,
Falco doing what she can to
Jaden
try and get that.
Jaden on this Sven has just been nuts. He's been on point with defending everybody. They only lost Gnosis in that. They could have lost Paco if Sven wasn't as on point as he was.
They only got 1 kill. This could be really risky for Vanguard, but it is a summer bloomer.
Yeah,
They're gonna quickly aim. Looks
yeah.
like
Charnock's kind of keeping them away though. They take out HK. That's going to be a trip kick. Nope, that's just going to be a couple basic attacks and then
she's gonna save that
retreat.
for her escape.
Yeah.
She's gonna jump over here and potentially looks like she is safe. Jolt's gonna be able to escape.
But Apex is chasing. Looks like there's just going to be a group up, and they're
They
not
did
gonna.
actually get the Sven. They were able to take him out.
Okay, they got him. Yeah, they got Sven and Zandora. So that was an even exchange in terms of power. We're still at a 10 power
Apex
difference
is
in favor of
immediately going to
Apex.
go. Apex immediately going for that D point.
Yeah,
Two of them decided to.
you want that positional advantage in a place like this, especially when the clash comes around. You get that little, like, I don't even know what to call it, the abandoned ship thing. that houses the D creature during the clash, and it's so hard to fight into because it's such a small area, and especially with a Charnock on the enemy team, like Vanguard's gonna have a real tough time fighting into that.
Exactly, and it looks like they're quickly upgrading over. I believe Apex is going to upgrade that to a Shadow Serb or potentially a Storm Drake.
That was
Storm Drake could
seen
be really strong. Yeah,
just a regular Cerberus, which Trip is gonna have a tough time taking out. Oh, and she might not have time to.
she's trying to get drag them away from the team right now, who is
Yeah.
pushing on over to C.
Yeah, but okay, it looks like they're
Her
making a
efforts-
rotation to D, but I don't know if they're gonna go for this wound. It always
They
seems
might.
really risky.
They're going to get ready. They're going to try and go for that bounce pad to attempt to, if anything. We see one coming from the C point.
All right, so it looks like there's going to be a fight around D. That wound is not going to get touched unless someone sneaks around somehow, which I don't really see that happening.
It would be too risky to have them. It looks like she missed that.
There's
Oh,
the focus, though. That could be Rezo. That's Rezo gone. That makes this a 5v4 in favor of Vanguard. Trip
that was still
focus
a
on
really
Sven.
still a
the
really
kick-
strong
oh,
focus
yep.
on.
Oh, it looks like it becomes a 2-for-2. It's a 2-for-2 exchange. It looks like it's going to be a
Actually,
a 3-for-2. Oh, no, is Sven going to get away? Oh, Charnock follows him with the detonate. Oh, can he hit the shots? Can he hit the shots?
Good stop,
Oh.
but unfortunately Sven is going to go down, and looks like Falco could potentially
Yep,
go down
Falco
here as well.
goes down
Yep.
to I believe a fireball took her out, and that is the ace. That's going to be a sweep around to B.
They're going to go
They're going to take that
instantly
out,
get that B.
They're going to get the 50 power advantage, and that's really rough for Vanguard right there.
I believe what really made that fight right there was Rezo's focus right there. If you saw that, he was able to hit 3 people with that focus and get that bleed. It might have been potentially a rank 2 or a rank 3 focus, and was able to pick off a lot of people and get them low for the Charnock to be able to pick them off, or whoever was in range for that.
Yeah, and Ed is not a guy who misses his shots. So like his accuracy on this Charnock is something to be feared. He looks like he went for the 25% slow and then the expanded range upgrade. That'll cover
Exactly.
pretty
This is
much
just
all of
resounding
the
potential.
area.
Trip going in for that Charnock interrupts the breath, but has to force him to jump out.
There's the focus. Trip burns the Charnock focus, but she's not safe yet. Nope.
She's
and then
going to back out. This is another lost fight.
That is 100 to 40. It's 100 to 40 power difference. That's 2 down on the side of Vanguard.
Even though Charnock is their only ranged damage, unless that Sven went for more an offensive build, they're not going to be able to do that. They have the offensive powerhouse, like Paco and Gnosis combo. If you ever run that in like a duo group, you will realize how strong those two are together.
Oh yeah,
like
Paco really shines when you have someone else to help you initiate. You can be the initiator, but you need someone else to help follow up so that you're.
This
not
is an easy
thing.
win going for Apex. It looks like.
Oh,
ooh,
no, it doesn't look like it. That
so close. They're getting a couple kills. Oh, the focus bug.
That is the focus bug, and that is really a shame to see. But this is going to be
still gets it down.
Then I'd be surprised. Oh, misses the kick. But no, it looks like that's a triple kill for Falco, and they successfully.
That's another ace
with a sliver of health.
They're gonna probably jump over to D and try and continue to get control
DPS.
on that.
They've got 10. They've got about 7 seconds once everybody shows up there, and then plus the travel time to D. They can take it out if they focus well and then retreat. That'll be a 20 power advantage. They need to not summon here though, unless it's an obelisk.
The summon, even the summon is really risky. They're respawning. It looks like they're going to try and rotate over.
They are.
That would be.
I would be surprised if we don't see a fight in the next, 15, 20 seconds break out here, because D is such an. Yeah, they do summon the obelisk.
Okay, that's really good on them. They're going to easily take out the obelisk, but this distracts them more from trying to continue to pressure them.
The one thing is, so below level 10, an obelisk is actually not as beneficial as you'd think, because it doesn't provide power when it's killed, it still does provide experience. So if you're missing, a level, so you're missing a trait, and the enemy summons an obelisk, that's an easy thing to kill. That's an easy experience.
That's an unfortunate kick.
Oh yeah,
Zandoro could go down here. Switches over to Gnosis. Oh, that focus from Sven.
Burning,
yeah, unfortunately.
Everything.
She stayed way too long into that fight, and she was the only one there. Everybody started backing up over to B, and although yes, they were low, it's still really risky for a Trip to do that. Just go in 1v5.
Yeah, and in pub games, she can do that get out, and it's not a problem because you don't have the coordination. In an environment like this where you're on comms, it's so much easier to be like, okay, the rest of the enemy is gone. Focus on the Trip, kill the Trip, because she's really squishy. So she's an easy pick off if you know how to do it. And
Exactly.
she, unfortunately, I believe, missed her kick in there, or at least one kick, and that can spell doom for you. Looks like, although Vanguard is in the lead by 10, but they do not have that D point, so they'll actually be down by 1 come the next power cycle.
Yeah, just because of D, it'll give them the 90 push. They're going to try and force a fight right here, it looks like.
They're going to try and pick off a couple of kills.
Doing what they can, but they really can't fight there, especially with the Gnosis and Paco combo.
Yeah,
if any of them had focus right there, that would be really risky for them.
Oh yeah, Paco focus will absolutely end a team fight. It will spell doom for your entire squad. And Sirens is particularly good for a character like Paco or like Gnosis or China.
They got the 10 power lead.
Oh,
They're trying
there
to
we go.
ApeX is just going to back out and try and guarantee this push for them, no matter what. It should still be an auto wound regardless, but
yeah,
as long as they keep it like an 80 lead, right? Or it'll be I think it'll be a 80 to 100 shield is what it's looking.
That's what I would guess, because the orb won't actually go. I'm not sure actually if the orb will or will not go through. It looks like they're going to try and
they're desperate to interrupt it, but it looks like Trip's going to go down. Give them the push anyway.
That was the risk it for the biscuit moment. Like, you had to do something. That's a Paco focus only on 1 though, but it does take out Sven and Trip down. It's a 3v5.
They're trying to make sure they don't get. They're trying to wipe them all out right now to make sure, guarantee that this is going to be an auto win for them, so they can transition over to Clash.
Yeah, and if they take out the C point, that puts them way ahead, and they can actually leave it low by the end of the wound, and then just pick it off, get a free, easy 20 power.
Exactly. They're just going to get this low, it looks like.
Yeah. I mean, the
Zandora's doing what she can to try and push them away.
Yeah, not really much. Zandora, not a super high pressure character on her own. I thought Trip might die to the water there for a second, because that's a fun interaction that can possibly happen.
No, as soon as you hear that the chime of transitioning into Clash, you cannot die from the water.
Okay, that's good. I got kind of burned when it was a long time ago, and I'm sure they took it out, but when the Ghost Reef Clash, the walls kind of crumble, I got crushed by one of them and killed. So
that's unfortunate.
It was a real sad
ApeX
moment.
trying to take out this Shadow Serb right now while they have the time.
Yeah, they left it low.
Like
that's
ApeX line is getting really low on Vanguard's team.
Yeah, ApeX is going to take. Oh, it's going to be a 1-for-1. Oh man.
Can they get rid? So close. Yeah, he's got.
Yeah, that is a 2-for-0. It looks like, I guess
it makes it a tie. 2 of them are dying. They're gonna 2 of them are dead, and they're gonna be able to respawn. They should be able to take this creature. They're gonna switch over to Charnock, try and get those timers to keep longer, but they're not gonna get it.
Charnock is the primary threat on this team, but they're just gonna take the free creature and run. There's no reason for them to stay there. They've got the power advantage. They'll get the cycles right there. That's a real good kick. It's a really good kick from Trip there. That might kill the Paco. Oh, no, it looks like he gets out. He gets out with just a tiny bit of health. And, all right, that's a 90 to 40. Oh, the bleed.
Sorna is really...
Oh, no. Falco's going for it.
He should still be able to escape. It looks like, everybody turned on him. It was still really risky for that Paco to do because he was really low. And if a Trip right there, with the Trip, having that pressure on him, if she would have landed that kick, that would have been another free kill for ApeX, or not ApeX, I apologize, but Vanguard, and they would have gotten this push a lot faster.
Yeah, and it looks like they might go for this wound here. It's going to be risky because everyone will be up by the time the attack happens. And since we can't see the focuses of the enemy team, you might see a Gnosis or Charnock focus come out and just absolutely destroy ApeX, or not ApeX, Vanguard. Now I'm doing.
Looks like they're jumping up, trying to go into the wound.
That's a good interaction there. That was a good jump attack. Looks like, that's going to be the free wound, and we're tied. And now there's 0 power, and we got a small bug going on, but it's okay. So we can't tell what the power is anymore, but I can only
Oh, this is
assume it
unfortunate.
is about, it's either
This is
10
gonna
or 20 to,
it's a 20 power lead because Sven and HK are down.
yeah. Sven, I didn't know if Sven had died during the wound attack, so, but it looks like they're going to come up, they're going to switch around, and Trip's just going to get out of there for free. And it looks like
She's
3 grouped up. Oh,
trying
and
to get
Trip
that
focusing on
Paco.
that Paco. That's going to be a, oh, Dragonok real low.
I remember what I was gonna say now, but for bounce pads like that, that you saw what you thought was a really good interaction. This is why a lot of teams on Siren Strand, you'll either see them run a Voden or a Uncle Sven, mainly because for that bounce pad. Not only is it to help them rotate over to D before Clash happens, but also to get a faster push into their wounds when it comes into Clash.
Yeah,
Apex,
mobility is such a huge part, plays such a huge part in this game. It defines, what you can do when and where. Trip's mobility is nuts. She can be everywhere on the map, and
oh,
you
this
might
is
not
not
know what
good.
she's. Oh no, she'll probably get out. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
but the
looks like
Zandora looks like
Zandora.
she is safe.
It looks like Zandora is going to go down. Apex goes down. That's going to be 50 to something. I mean, I guess about 50 to 30. And then just going to kind of regroup and
Apex could
reset. Oh,
potentially
no.
still
There
have
are
the
no
push though.
resets in this match. It is just aggression on aggression on aggression all the time.
They want to try and put pressure on them to make sure they're still in combat while they're low. When it gets to a point that they'll be able to just go all in. This is the kind of comp that Apex is really wanting to run, just to get into your face, start fights like what's happening right now, and then just dominate them.
Yeah, they are really good at putting on pressure.
There's
That's
the
the
focus right
Zandora
there.
focus.
All 3 focuses from Sven, Sandora, and Gnosis go down.
Trip's low, but no one's dead yet. Thanks in no small part to that Sven. Oh, looks like Zero goes down on that Beckett. Apex looking at about half.
They guarantee the push for
That's going to
Apex
be a
now.
Trip focused on the Charnock. Charnock's probably going to detonate away if he hadn't already used it. Nope, and he's gone.
This
Dies
is
to the
really
bleed.
huge damage. Apex could potentially end the game here because of Clash. They have more damage on it during Clash. Guardians do more damage, so
It's also a longer respawn timer. We got 7 seconds on 3 members of Vanguards. And it
it looks like
looks
2 people
like
are already going down.
2, 1, and that's the HK.
Yeah.
That's an HK focus. That was probably a.
Guys have a
that's
little
free
more time.
focus.
Could they get a little bit more focus on this?
Uh,
5 more seconds. This
that's a
could.
shield.
Yep.
No, that's not.
That's
Gonna
going to
be it.
guarantee them. Vanguard is still in this fight.
Yeah, Vanguard could win this. All right, it looks like Trip's gonna just circle.
They're
around
trying to
and
get as much picks as possible.
They're trying to do
They
the
might
power
just.
play, go for D.
Yep, they're going to rotate over to D right now. They
Yeah,
were trying.
it's
They were
2
looking for more
people.
picks at first, but
Oh, and we
when they
got the bug fixed. Nice. Yeah, they're just going to take out D, get the positional advantage, like I was mentioning, and they're just going to sit and turtle, try and get that last push, and go for it fully.
Yeah, they're just gonna back out because they assume that Apex will continue to summon right there. They could as well and still get away with it. They started the summoner right now.
Oh,
All
yeah, it
5
looks
of them
like
most likely
it
over
looks
on
like
D.
Apex does summon at D. Vanguard's opting not to go for that. But being in a really comfortable 30 power lead, they'll be able to get this push pretty easy as long as they play careful.
Yeah, it looks
like
like
they're-
Zandora. This is
opened
gonna
my
be a
big
really
mouth.
fast.
Open my big mouth, and then you see, Trip and Zandora kind of 2v3ing.
It would have been if they were able to keep them pressured. The problem that could have still worked. The issue was you see how Apex or not Apex but Vanguard is spread out right now. Right now, if they would have pressured onto D while Zandora and Trip continued, looks like they're doing that right now. They could still get this creature. Looks like one's getting ready to rotate over. 2 of them right there.
So if you'll notice, besides that freeze, Falco has really excellent stamina management, which is another key, like the mobility, and they kind of play into each other. Good stamina management means you can go farther for longer, so long as you can get those stamina ticks and keep running. She's not blowing all of her stamina all at once. She's able to prolong her sprint, able to stop and walk when she needs to, and that's what lets her get out of these dangerous situations, as well as really good dodging on her part.
Having that stamina management is really strong. It looks like trying to get that. Apparently can't even get my full sentences out because fights keep on continuously starting. This is a bloodbath for everybody.
Yeah, this is one of the more aggressive games I've seen. Like, it's just fighting and fighting and fighting all the time. Like, any moment you're not fighting, you're wrong. You're actually fighting.
Yeah,
you just don't know it.
I'll try and say it again, but this is what makes really strong assassin players what they are. Having that stamina management, being able to know when your abilities are on cooldown and how much damage you can do. And you see Falco has been showing a lot of that prowess when it comes to doing that fight.
She's got a lot of practice on this trip. Like I said, I've been on the receiving end of this.
Gets a really good knockup.
I don't know if that was a focus bug. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
that is the power play. That's a 100 to 80. That's not a huge difference, but it might be enough. All 5 members up for Vanguard. It's gonna be a 5v4 on the wound, but if Paco has focus, he could turn the fight just as
all
easily.
5 people are gonna get up. They might even try.
They're not gonna go for it, I don't think.
Vanguards has been known to just rather stall out a game until
going for the wound. They're going for it.
And as soon as I say it, they go for that wound.
Yeah, no, that's how it's been for me. It looks like, all right, Trip's going to go down. Zandora's down. This is excellent target selection from ApeX onto Vanguard. Oh, can they keep it? It's all they have up is Jolt. Looks like it's gonna be the.
It's
ace.
Not gonna be it. It's gonna be an
ace. 30-second respawn time. That's gonna be a free creature, maybe 2. They're gonna rotate over to C, take that, maybe be able to take B, be at a huge power advantage, and then just sit and turtle and take the auto.
Because those creatures weren't summoned, they're able to split right now and be able to get both of them. This is going to be a huge lead for ApeX. This could be most likely be the final push as well.
And that's how quickly games can turn in the Clash. You can have, you can be at a huge advantage. They can be at nothing, and then suddenly you think you've got it all, and then you're gone.
They're making a desperate play over to D, trying to get a 20 shield.
You see this a lot. You really gotta risk it for the biscuit. You gotta pull out that power play. Do everything you can to secure your win in a situation like this. It is dead even, and if ApeX gets this push, then it's over for Vanguard.
Even if the Vanguards was able to be like, this is still anyone's game at this point, but it looks like ApeX is still in the lead. If somehow Vanguards was able to recover from their deficit right now and actually get more power, then Vanguards could still easily win this match.
Yeah,
but
whoever gets the push wins it, plain and simple. Yeah. But it looks like ApeX.
2 people are down on Vanguards right now.
ApeX is just dominating this right now. This is
the push. That's going to be game.
16. It's a 16-second respawn time. They are going to be up in time, but there's not going to be enough health to defend. It's going to take 1 basic attack, and that's 4 down, 15 seconds.
Sven's the only one alive. He doesn't have focus.
That's going to be the end of the game. Super hard fought by both teams. A crazy match. I'm so glad I got to watch this one.
This is why the 4 teams that I stated earlier, those are the main ones you want to look out for. If you don't watch us commentate over these matches, you can watch them themselves on the gigantic Twitch page. Pick anyone you would like to see. But Nimbus, ApeX, Hammers Esports, and Vanguards, those 4 teams, hands down, are going to be, if you see them matching against each other, those are going to be really strong matches to look out for, and those are going to be the most intense ones.
Yeah, those are the